Have you ever had to sit down and teach your grandmother how to operate her brand new phone or computer or TV or anything that was made after 1985? If you're young enough to wear distressed jeans and say things like on fleek, then of course you have. This is one of the most common problems we face as the younger generation. All of the generations above us don't know how to use technology for the life of them. Literally, if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be able to use technology for the rest of their life. But just because you didn't grow up with technology doesn't mean that you should ignore and refuse to learn about it. What if all of us young whippersnappers did that fresh out of high school? All the important things that we were never taught over the 12 years we spent learning all these skills and facts, we just decided to ignore and didn't bother learning them, like how to pay taxes and apply for student loans and building credit, or how to properly manage our money. These are all extremely important things for us to know as we start our lives in the real world that we have to venture out to learn on our own, and you're getting frustrated because you can't find the power button on your $1,200 laptop so you can play solitaire? Now, I get that most of it is an entirely new concept to you, and it's been a while since you've had to learn something new, but you've got to set out in your mind to try to learn it, which some old folks do, and they learn it and catch on in no time. But sometimes it takes them a while to learn because they can't see the tiny little words on the screen, so they put on their reading glasses and pull out their magnifying glass from 1800, and you've got to come over and try to explain to them that if they just pinch the screen with their fingers, they can zoom in and out, making the text as big as they want. Then when they say it's not working, you have to teach them that they have to use their fingertips and can't just poke the screen with their nail for it to work, only for them to forget the next 236 times they go to do it in front of you. Now, my dad's not even that old, but he didn't grow up with technology, so he's not too tech savvy yet, and I kid you not, for his birthday last year, I cut off all the buttons on the TV remote he didn't need to use and painted the important ones white and put some grips on it so he wouldn't drop it as much, then painted outlines for the only two important remotes he needed on the DVD player so he wouldn't lose them and he'd know which ones were important and where they were. This was the only way I could hope to not constantly be the family's IT department 24/7, and it would definitely help if the big TV companies made a senior-friendly TV or even just a senior mode in the settings of all their existing TVs. My poor grandma, I love her to death, but just for her to be able to go from watching TV to playing a DVD, I had to put sticky notes up and down the side of the TV and write out a full page of instructions referring to 3 different remotes she had to use with pop-up menus on the TV that disappeared before she can press the next button. Do you know how frustrating that is for an older person? Simply racing to select DVD before the menu disappears after 5 seconds? I can't even imagine. That's like your phone being on 1% with no charger and not having any food in your house, so you try to order Postmates, but before you hit place order, your phone shuts off, leaving you hopeless and hungry. But I think my favorite thing is getting voicemails from my grandma. She'll start off by saying, "Hi, Michael, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's, let me check on the calendar. Oh, it's Sunday morning. I hope you're doing well." Then leaves me a 10-minute voicemail and stops to say, "Oh, and by the way, this is grandmother." Which gets me every time. I think it's the funniest and cutest thing. But I'm always curious if she thinks that when I first get this voicemail, I have no idea who it's from, and I'll sit there and listen to this person talking to me about my close family for 10 minutes before I realize that it's my grandma talking. I think it's really funny, but I probably won't ask her. I'll just keep letting her do it. It's kind of cute. And emails is another thing. Setting up an email address for them to talk to Betty Sue about her sick cats is the easy part, but teaching them how to use it is a whole different mountain to climb. And after you show them how to double click on the icon to open Google Chrome, they go, wait, don't go so fast. Do it again so I can watch you and learn how to do it." So you close the window and double click on it again, and they ask, "Now, do I need to press it 2 times real fast or a slow 2 times? Why do they make this so hard?" And I kind of feel bad that it's as hard as it is for them to learn how to use technology, so I'm always trying my best to help them learn as best I can, keeping the technical jargon down to a minimal, going at a slow pace, and having them practice doing it on their own before I go. They'll usually get the hang of it after a bit of repetition, but I'll still come over sometimes and see them use the magnifying glass to see the tiny words on their screen, or printing out their emails to read them. But that's fine. Whatever is easiest for them. Just try to be as helpful as you can whenever someone comes to you, and be happy you get to help them rather than being salty you have to stop catching pokebugs on your phone, as the grandparents would say, to help them out for a minute. But hey, thank you guys so much for listening to me kind of spill out some of my recent thoughts that have been bouncing around in my head. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. I've got an amazing video coming out next week with some friends you may recognize that we just recorded the other night, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to see it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
And it's grandmother. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.